Hey guys, so we are back with a DIY wrap job with our friend Thinh. You might remember him, we've made other videos with him where he's DIY wrapped his car. Well, now he has his new refreshed Plaid Model X, and of course he's going to be wrapping it himself. So we showed you the high end, and now we're gonna show you how you can DIY it and get some expert tips from Thinh. We recently took you behind the scenes breaking down the cost and the expertise necessary to wrap our Tesla Model X at one of the nation's top detailers.
For the uninitiated, it's a totally gut-wrenching feeling seeing your brand new car taken apart like this.
Today we meet up with our friend Thinh, who's once again taking on the challenge to wrap his brand new Model X for just a few $100s. If you guys are like me and you just love the look of custom Teslas like Thinh's and mine, then the first step is just to get a Tesla, and we have the hookup for you. So this is your last chance to enter to win Performance Model 3 from Charity Stars, and the sweepstake closes in about 48 hours. So you guys might remember that Charity Stars gave away a Model Y to one of our viewers last year, and for the next 48 hours, they're even giving away 1,500 bonus entries to Kim Java viewers for this drawing. The winner gets a Performance Model 3 that has up to 315 miles of range, 480 horsepower, and a 0 to 60 of 3.1 seconds. So you can feel good about it because either way, your donation supports the Guardian Group, who works to prevent sex trafficking of women and children while helping identify victims. Plus, Charity Stars will also pay your taxes and shipping for US winners. So to enter, visit charitystars.com/Kim1500 or use code Kim1500 for your bonus entries. Good luck. Because I imagine just like being able to get into here is kind of difficult.
Yeah, so like, you know, on the Teslas, the gaps are a little...
I like the positive of the panel gaps. You're like, it's easier to wrap your vehicle. We could do a whole video on like why it's good to have panel gaps.
So this is Avery Dennison's Matte Charcoal Metallic. And Avery was the easiest to work with, and I think it's because it's the thinnest and most pliable.
Do you just purchase it straight from Avery or from Amazon?
I originally tried on Amazon, but a lot of sign supply places have vinyl, and a lot of times they're cheaper than what I found on Amazon.
Oh, interesting. You have a couple different things going on right here. Can you explain this?
I went through so many colors and so many finishes trying to decide, because I thought about gloss, but some of the finishes on the gloss, they're not as nice as paint. So if you look at the reflection, it's very blurry.
For people that are wanting to DIY, then you would suggest going with more of a matte finish as opposed to a gloss?
Yes, definitely. The matte hides a lot of imperfections. You can't really see the glue lines as much. Definitely when I tried the gloss, there was a lot of lines.
Okay, good to know. I think that those are the tips that people really appreciate to hear. The film cost Thinh about $650, while the tools cost another $150. And with a family and a full-time job, the entire wrap took over 6 weeks to complete. You don't have a lot of time, you work, you know, a full-time job, but I imagine you're just kind of doing it in the evenings and on the weekends and just piece by piece, and you definitely save a lot of money. Thinh purchased 75 feet of film for the project, though he suggested that even 50 feet would be enough. But as we saw while he was wrapping, the extra film definitely provides room for error.
When I start getting all these little wrinkles, it's harder to lay the film down without it kinking, so to speak. So I think most people wouldn't notice it, but because, you know, you do it yourself, you know where all your where the flaws are, right? Actually, I can show you. If you look in there. Don't tell anybody.
This DIY project definitely requires a certain level of dexterity, patience, and willingness to make mistakes along the way.
There's always something that happens. Either I drop the film on the ground, it's picked up a bunch of dirt. It's just nice to have, you know, some of the original roll.
Although the color options are limitless, Thinh suggests choosing wisely to save the potential headaches.
I liked a lot of colors. A lot of the other colors were difficult to work with. I had selected chalk white, a nardo gray. The chalk white looked pretty good. It was just very similar to the Tesla white. And so I didn't think it was a big enough difference, so I scratched that idea. The nardo gray gloss looked really good and, you know, looked pretty much like paint. The only problem was when I applied it, I could see every squeegee mark.
That was actually, I like the way that looked. I have seen that one online before, and that was one of the colors I had looked at too. Right. But it's interesting to hear that it's a little bit harder to apply that gloss. He also recommends for first timers to favor a matte wrap over satin.
If you have dents on your car, they show up really easily. So I have a little dent somewhere on here from a rock, and I actually put a piece of satin on it just to kind of see, do I need to get this dent fixed? And it actually made it more visible. But when I put the matte on it, I don't think I could find the dent now.
The logistics of tackling such a project at home also have some unique challenges. And you were saying that to get a big piece, to cut it, you actually have to like clean up your floor like in your house.
Yeah, I want to keep it as clean as possible so when I lay it on the car, none of the dirt gets under it. It's a lot more challenging at home, so I just do this in the family room when the kids are away, the dog's locked up. So it's a little bit of a, it's got different challenges.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. No, let's wrap it up, guys. Well, it's been about 6 weeks and we are back again with Thinh. He's completed his Model X, and first off, I want to know what this whole process was like. And you actually had to drive it on vacation during that time to Florida, right? Or it was like kind of in the in-between stage. Did anybody say anything, any looks?
I don't think so. I guess I'm so used to it. I feel like the car's always kind of in this in-between phase. We had an accident with the old one and it was in a in-between phase for a while.
Were there any hiccups along the way?
Yeah, definitely. One of the ones that happened recently was this camera. When I was removing it, the connector broke, a couple of the snaps broke. The fit was just really tight.
And Tesla had the part?
Yes, they had the part in stock.
That's good.
The day I went. And
did you just show up then, or did you call ahead? Or?
No, I just showed up.
You showed up and they had
I
it?
was just hoping they would sell it to me.
Do you mind sharing what that cost?
Yeah, it was, I believe it was around $130 or so.
Okay. So it's interesting because like with Tesla, a lot of times people, now everything is like you schedule service appointments on the app, but I wonder had you done that if it would have cost more, because you would have had like a technician come out and they would have wanted to install it versus you just showing up, and luckily they had it in stock. What number to call when you actually want to talk to a person at Tesla? That is the age-old question right now. Well, that's good to hear, because, sometimes you hear about parts as not being in and all that kind of stuff. That's really cool. What are you going to do with this piece now?
I don't know, paperweight, I guess.
It's kind of cool. So I think when you wrapped it last time, you didn't remove any pieces. You just kind of went around it?
Yes, that's right. Last time I cut a hole in the vinyl and then I kind of finagled it on and then I laid it down. And it worked fine, but, because I've wrapped a few times, I can kind of see where some of the flaws are doing it that way, so I removed it this time, and I guess I'm 50% successful. It's definitely harder than it appears on YouTube. There's a couple of hooks, a couple of connectors. It never comes off as easy as it's shown.
When you're DIYing and you're not used to doing this yourself, it's like you watch the pros on YouTube and it just seems like so easy when they do it, but then when you go to do things yourself, sometimes you run into obstacles that you are unexpected. Luckily, this wasn't too expensive, so overall, when you factor that into the price that you paid, it's still much cheaper than having the wrap done at a body shop.
I removed the window trim, which was pretty easy. Everyone does it on the Model 3 and the Model Y. You just pull the back up and you just do it slowly. And I have all these little trim tools. It's just a press fit. So let's see, it goes this way, but it's about $100.
If you mess it up?
Yeah, so if you mess it up, it's $100. Kind of pry it up gradually, starting at this end, working your way forward. Everything else stayed on the car. The pros are really good at it. You don't be misled, right? Because I can do the matte, no problem, and it's my own car, so I can take as long as I want. I can redo it, whenever I need. But when I tried some of the other materials, it's definitely very difficult to get it done and to look nice. It's not very straightforward, but if you're gonna do it yourself, I would definitely go with a matte color.
Well, let us know what questions you guys have for Thinh. Put them in the comments below. And if you enjoy watching DIY videos like this one, make sure you like this video and you're subscribed to our channel for more DIYs. And if you have ideas for future DIYs, you know, let us know in the comments. We love hearing what you guys want to see, and we'll see you guys next time. It's like, for me, like, in my free time, I always like to have some sort of artistic outlet, and it seems like for you, this is your way of expressing yourself.
Definitely. Agreed.